Hi, I'm Charles. I'm the developer of Space Hex Duel, and today I'm going to run through the tutorial to show you how to play. So firstly, you hit play, and then it's T for tutorial. Below here are actually the missions you can run. If you wanted to skip the tutorial after watching this, you can just go straight to number 1. You should be aware that some of the things won't be unlocked there until you win at least one game, the tutorial counting. So you won't have skips or randoms until you get to number 2. Each of these later ones unlocks as you finish the earlier one. Let's just go to the tutorial. Click on that. Okay, so the first thing to know about Space Hex Duel is, as the name suggests, a duel. There's 2 players, you, which is over here under my mouse on the left in blue, and this is your queue of items, of pieces, and then your opponent, your enemy, who's over here on the right, under my mouse now. So you play the game by claiming parts of this battlefield in the center, this hex-based battlefield. And then when you get a bunch of hexes that are surrounded with the same symbol, you build a base of that symbol type. The symbol types are little ships for fleet bases, which are high damage, low health, low range. Lasers, let me just drop this piece. So I'm going to drag this piece, click on it, and drag it and drop it down here where it's telling me to. You see the hexes go green. If I drop it somewhere I'm not allowed to, and I'll explain what those rules are later, it goes red, but here's green, so I can drop it here, so I'll just drop it there. So here you see these little ships. They will create fleet bases, high damage, low health, low range. These little lasers, if you surround those and create a base, it'll be low damage, low range, high health. And the other one, a radar ping symbol, which give up high range, low damage, low health. Now the game is turn-based, so at the end of your actions, you click this little play symbol up the top, again under my mouse, and that will move to the next turn. The player will have their turn, and then you'll get your turn again. So now the enemy will have their go. Done. All right. So these pieces, these cues, as you see the next one down has moved up to the top. You can rotate them around with these rotation buttons, arrow buttons. So I just rotated it once. You can rotate it as many times as you want. And then I'm just going to drag it and drop it over here. And you see that this hex down here has a little symbol on it. This unclaimed hex has a little symbol. These symbols give you various things. This one here gives you a skip. So we'll just drop it. It's all green, so we can drop. And you can see that this over here has gone green, got 1 underneath, which means we have 1 skip, which means we can skip the current piece in the queue and go to the next one, if the next one is better. End of our turn, let the enemy have their go. Okay, so when you drag your pieces and drop them somewhere, they have to be connected to other hexes that you already own. So if I try to drop it up here, you see it goes red because this top left hex does not connect to any other hexes I currently own. Whereas if I drop it down here where it's telling me to, just beneath it, it's green because that hex connects to other hexes I own, these blue ones under here. I should also point out all these colors can be changed. If you go under options, you can change all the colors. So if you have color blindness, you can change the colors to something that you can see. Now that move wasn't the best possible move in this situation. Because you see this symbol here gives you an extra turn. They're pretty valuable, so you actually want that. It doesn't matter. If you do something that you think is not optimal, you can undo them all the way back to the start of your turn using this undo button here. So you just click that as many times as you want, it'll just keep undoing actions. So in this case we only want to go back once, so we click it once, boom, and we're back to the start. Now remember we picked up that skip in the previous turn. Well, that might be useful now because you see the top, while this top one is just a 1 single hex, the one below has 3 hexes, and that one's going to be much better for us right now. So we'll hit the skip that we just got, and then we'll drag that over here. And now you notice that these 2 here and the 2 we're about to drop, these 4 radar ping symbols are now completely surrounded, and so they will form a base. It has no unclaimed neighbors, as it says, so it'll claim a base. And the more of these symbols that are surrounded, the more powerful the base. So this is 4 symbols, so it's a 4 base. So you see these 4 hexes that were there have combined to form this space here. It's put down here. You can actually put it anywhere you want in the turn that you created. So we don't want it down here. We want it up in the top left where the mouse is now. So you just double click and we'll move it to that place. So newly formed bases have shields around them to give them a bit of extra protection so they don't normally get completely destroyed by the opponent first time. This is one of those power-ups that you wouldn't have if you hadn't done the tutorial. Not straight away, you'd have to win one game to get them. So that's the end. So we now just go to the next one. So now you see the shields are gone. And if you hover over them, you can show the details of the base. So this is a forward base, power 1, health 2, range 3. And you can see the red around it shows you the range. So if the shields were there, it would be health 2 plus 2. The shields give you 2 health. If you want to, you can actually improve the health. You can see right now it's 2 health. What you can do is if you drop a piece with the same symbol that matches the base you're dropping it on, like if you here, see it goes green, then that will actually increase the health. If I was to try and drop the other way around, you see that's not allowed, it's red, firstly because the forward radar hex is off in the middle of nowhere, but also because you're trying to drop a defense hex symbol onto a forward base, so that's not going to work. But this will, and it'll power up the base. So now if we go over it, you can see that the health is 3 rather than 2. It's gone up by 1. So you can heal your bases that way, up to a maximum of 9, I think. Alright, so now it's time to start shooting. When you see this little green symbol, this targeting reticule over a hex, that means it can shoot. And to shoot, you just click on the base, left click on the base, and then you drag the reticule to where you want to shoot. So you don't want to shoot any of these are your own hexes. But this is the enemy home base. And this is how you actually win. If you reduce the enemy's home planet to 0 health, you win the game. That's it. There's only one way to do it, and that's it. So we move across and we shoot. So you see under there, I don't know if you saw under there, the little green bar actually decreased. It was health 2 and now it's health 1, and the green bar denotes the health. So you can see this one has got a bit longer green bar, that's because the health is 3. And the amount of damage you do when you shoot is determined by the red bar. You see it's a very short red bar here, power 1, that's how much damage you do. Here it's a bit longer, power 2, so it does 2 damage. The other thing is the range is denoted by, if you hover over the mouse over the base, the hexes that are outlined in red by default. Once again, you can change these colors. The hexes outlined, that's the range. So this base here, this forward base up in the top left corner, could shoot all the hexes that are currently outlined in red. Now, the other thing to note is when you shoot bases, your enemy bases, or any of your enemy, you'll power up your bases as well, any future bases. And that's determined by under here, directly under the player text, you see there's a little base creation power, which is not yet unlocked. I think you have to get a couple of levels in. But basically, as you go, the more you destroy your enemy, the more powerful your future base is. Basically, it adds hexes. So when we created this base, forward base in the top left, we used 4 hexes to create it. If, for instance, this said +1 or +2, it'd be 4 + 1, 4 + 2, so it'd be a more powerful base when it's created. Now, we can actually win this game straight away, because that's the way the tutorial is written. What we could do is we have an extra turn. So when you get an extra turn, you get to do a whole turn again straight away. So we do that, and now, as you see, we've got another piece. We could place that piece, but we don't really need to. You can do anything you want. We can just shoot again. So we can just shoot again. So we click on the top left base, move the reticule across to where we want to shoot, which is the home base. And you can see we're going to reduce the home base to 0 and win the game. And that's it. Boom, 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 close. And that's it, we've won. So there you can see the win screen, and these are the unlocks. So these are the shields. These are being able to power up, improve the health, heal your bases. This is being able to power up bases. So all those are unlocked with your first victory, which you'll get with the tutorial. If you just jump straight to the first scenario, you'll have to win that before you get those. So now you can see you can just do one and you can carry on. The other thing to know are all the standard options. You can change the colors, as I said, use colorblind colors if you want, increase the font size, that kind of thing. And these are other modes. This is hot seat mode, this one with two little people symbols. So two people playing at the same computer, one after the other. That unlocks after you finish a few missions, and the same with infinite mode. And it's all based off a random seed, so if you want to play the same one, if you start the same level with the same seed, you'll get the same game. The pieces will roll out in the same order until you start deviating, and then it's completely different. Okay, so, and there's badges that you can unlock, and you can see here, because we've won the tutorial, it's unlocked a few badges, and there's many more to go. Various power-ups and achievements to collect. And that's the game. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.